Hey, check that out. Let me go ahead and get Facebook kicked off. I went 2 minutes early tonight, guys. The last couple weeks, it's taken multiple attempts and almost 10 minutes to get on. So tonight, I said at 7:28, I'm hitting the button. That gives us 2 minutes of wiggle room. Boom, YouTube nails it, hits it immediately. So let's go ahead and kick Facebook off as well and get ready to go. Can't believe it. The night we planned to go early, boom, it connects immediately. Okay, and looks like we are now going on Facebook as well. Welcome tonight, everybody, to the Nobody Show Interactive Gearhead live chat. Coming at you live from the Nobody's World headquarters here in Kansas. So got a great crowd on already and ready to go. Let's see who's here ready to rock and roll. Cream City Pete here early and ready to go. Gary on ready to go right out of the gate. Pete is here. Randall with a Nut Farm. Let's see. Who is all here? Neil made it tonight. Tony. Steve Hagebush is here. Buick Man made it. John's on. Glad you guys are all here, and we are officially connecting on Facebook as well. Ron Levesque made it. So, wow, everything worked tonight. Not quite sure how that happened. Probably because we were going to try to circumvent the system and go 2 minutes early, knowing that we were going to be 2 minutes late, so it wanted to show us up that it could cooperate. I'm sure that was it. So, anyway, we are live. It is 7:30, so some of the guys that were waiting until 7:30 should know we're ready to go. And let's see. Looks like we are connected, ready to boogie. What's been happening everybody's week? Hey, there's Kenny. Lots of things to talk about this week. Going to give away that killer Mark's Fire Chief car. That one is going to hurt. Condition on that is so amazing. Hey, there's Bill Disk. Andy the Rusty Okies here. So we're going to give that away. We are also going to give away some extra raffle prizes courtesy of our good friend from Canada that we lost a few weeks ago. So in honor of him, we're going to give away some of the stuff that he had donated to the show to add to your guys' collection. So can't wait to do that in honor of him and his contributions to what we've done here over the last several years. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into tonight's chat. I'll keep an eye on comments as we move forward. As always, I try to catch most of the comments, but please, Dan from Defiance is here. Double check your comment before you hit send. If autocorrect changed it into something that I can't make out or can't understand, I will skip it, and sometimes that does happen. We even had it happen on a super chat a couple weeks ago. I couldn't make out the comment. I felt bad, but, you know, I couldn't understand it, so I just had to skip it. Hey, there's Jim. Ads, we are dealing with ads, unfortunately. It's their system. In fact, I did see a great meme today that I was going to share with you guys. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, yeah. A guy sitting in a room with piles and piles of cash, and it says, YouTube, after companies paid them to show ads, and we paid them not to show ads. So I was like, hey, that's a pretty good meme. So anyway, I thought that was kind of comical, but unfortunately, it is their system. We do have to deal with ads. So we do usually do a pretty good job of working around them. Super chats are always awesome. We do have the supercharged super chat badge ready just in case a super chat pops up tonight. And as always, if you were on the Nobody Show Facebook page, I cannot see those comments. Scott's here with us on the Nobody Else's Auto Facebook page. But if you're on the Nobody Show Facebook page, you will need to be on the Nobody Else's Auto Facebook page to comment or the Nobody Show YouTube channel to comment. This is a shared video from the Nobody Else's Auto page to the Nobody Show Facebook page, so I cannot see those comments. If you just want to watch and hang out there, you are perfectly fine. That's a good point, Bill. That's why I didn't show the meme. I just read the meme. So I thought we would do that. So anyhow, we've got a Hudson badge warmed up and ready to go, as well as an Auburn badge. There's number one. And we are ready to rock and roll tonight. Picked up some cool cars this week. Had a lot of things going on. So we'll start off with one thing you guys have been asking about, yard walk. I'm going to try to get a yard walk scheduled sometime in the next few weeks. Going to have to be first thing in the morning based on heat and what it is doing to my phone or anybody's cell phones in this weather. So keep your eyes peeled. I'm going to keep an eye out when I can squeeze in a yard walk. And so I do have it on my radar because you guys have been asking about that. This video work, I actually have been getting some video work done. I have almost 20 videos that I need to get put together. I got about 5 of those done late Friday night, and they are up. We may throw up a bonus video tomorrow night just because I've got so much stuff that's backing up. And I do want to share the video with you guys of the automobile experience in Kearney, Nebraska, where the James Hetfield cars were at, just in case there's a possibility of you guys having a chance to get there before those cars leave. Originally, they were tentatively scheduled to be there through the end of June. They were trying to get that extended, but I may try to throw that video up. I got believe it or not, I actually got the video done from the auction where I bought all those Lincolns 2 months ago, actually almost 2.5 months ago. That video's up. We will try to get that up this week for members and then go public with it the following week. I don't have any time to be bored. No, I got out of here at 2, well, I guess technically Saturday morning, and I quit at midnight last night. So, yeah, I'm not short of things to do. But finally getting some of that stuff done. I've got the Auburn Court Duesenberg stuff, the Pioneer Village stuff, a lot of things that we got to get put together and get up because it's a lot of cool stuff. Dad's here with us tonight. So I actually have been making some progress on video content, just a long, long ways to go. If you guys caught the short video we threw up Thursday, we had some visitors here from, believe it or not, New York City. Yes, Cupid and the Cowboy. They're a little musical group, and they actually stopped by Thursday, drove out here from New York City. They needed to get some parts. They've got a 66 Belvedere that they roll around New York City in, hit some gigs. They've actually got it. I looked at a couple of the videos they've got on YouTube, and I've seen the Belvedere in some of their videos. So it was a long road trip for them, but they wanted to see the yard. So he's like, I'll just come out and get them. Going to take a couple days to drive there. But he's like, man, road trip doesn't scare me. I got to see this place, and I sure like to get those doors for my Belvedere. So they literally drove out here from New York City to pick up a set of doors for that Belvedere, which was cool. That's always fun, meeting people, meeting all you guys. And yeah, saved a fortune on shipping because those would have been expensive to ship. Probably spent on gas what it would have cost to ship them, but they got the experience, got to come out, got to see the yard, and that's what he was really excited about. So be sure to check them out, Cupid and the Cowboy. They do have a YouTube channel. They've got some videos on there, and you can see the Belvedere that they came out and bought parts for. As you can see, Pete and Bill been discussing parts. Bill did buy some pieces today. No, they didn't bring me any picante sauce. Big job. Yeah, and they did. They said they played, I think they played somewhere in like around Cincinnati, and their road trip home was just going to be cruising. They said, we're just going to take our time. We find some place that wants us to stop and jam, we'll stop and play. So yeah, just kind of making an adventure out of it. So, which is great. But anyway, but anyway, Pete and Bill were talking about parts. Bill did buy some stuff today. We did have another get together, and even Eric was able to join us last Thursday night on the training stuff. Talking about, we spent a lot of time on how and where I find inventory last Thursday. So if you guys are interested in that, it is up and going. If you up your subscription to Nobody Premier, you can have you have access to all the videos we have done, as well as anything coming forward as we talk about this stuff. Bill bought some stuff today that I think is going to make him some money based on the pictures he sent me. One piece should get most of his money back, if not all of it, and he's still got a handful of stuff to sell down the road. So kind of the name of the game, but we're working through that stuff, guys. If it is something that is of interest to you, you can always, hey, there's JP. You can always call me and run it through it with me. If you just want to up your subscription, or your membership to that and check it out for a month and hang out with us, you're welcome to do that. But so far, I think everybody's getting something out of it. So the guys that joined in so far haven't had too many complaints. So we'll take that as a win and see what happens. Oh, yeah. Oh, you can sell it, Bill. That's fine. Not a problem. Another update, the 1978 Ford F-250. Like we shared with you a couple months ago, my dad and his buddy Jay went through that thing tip to tail mechanically, checked it, sorted it out, did the brakes, checked the suspension, timing gear and chain, put the radiator back in that I had completely rebuilt, and got it back on the road. The next step started this week. It's probably going to be there for a while, but it did go to the body shop. A friend of mine here, I deal with him quite a bit. Just got a small little shop. Not going to be a concours restoration by any means. I don't want it to be. I still want to use that pickup. In fact, I want to try to preserve as much of it as possible. We're going to have to paint probably half of it. The bed is going to have to be painted because there's a couple spots of rust that need fixed. Hey, there's Totally VW. As well as a couple decent-sized dents in the bed. Hey, Ryan's with us on Facebook. So the bed is going to have to be fixed and painted. There's not any way around that. The bulk of the cab, I think we're going to be able to save. The right door, that mirror was damaged a little bit. I don't know if we're going to be able to save the right door. We'll save the door, but I don't know if we'll be able to save the paint on the door. And the left front fender is probably going to have to be replaced. He's going to try to pull it. Hey, there's Caldwell hanging out. But it's in so far. He thinks the metal stretched pretty bad, so probably going to have to put a left fender on it and probably paint the left fender and the hood because the hood's got so many rock chips in the front, and maybe the rockers and then the bed. So we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I really want to try to preserve as much of it as possible. The truck, I thought it was a pretty good truck, but after Jay went through it all, he's like, man, it was just that truck just had not been abused. It had not been run hard. It had not been torn up. As I said, the suspension was great in it. You bought a Bricklin. God, I haven't seen a Bricklin in a long time. Those are pretty funky. So excited to see how this comes out. Like I said, it isn't going to be a concours restoration. And I don't want it to be. I want to fix there's a few small spots of rust coming through. Sounds good. Get some of those, the bigger dents fixed, get some fresh paint on the stuff that we've got to fix, and excited to get that thing back on the road. But it's moving forward, just slowly, but it's moving forward. Started actually sorting and putting up some of my boxes of sales literature. We're going to check out a new piece of sales literature tonight out of that massive collection that I bought. And guys, you can't even believe the stuff that we're finding in here. I mean, it is just, Addie and I were I had Addie marking the boxes and I'm putting them on shelves, getting Ford truck, Buick, Olds, Pontiac, Cadillac, Chevy, getting everything, at least somewhat in order. So I know if I need a brochure for a Buick, I can find the Buick box. And we got about half of them on the shelf, but it was really, really difficult because every time we opened a box, it's like, whoa, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. And it took a while to put up about 10 boxes because it's like everything is cool. Now, there is some stuff in the 80s and 90s in there. I've told you that. But, man, some of this stuff that is in there is just mind-blowing. So we've got another one tonight. But, man, guys, it is crazy what we're seeing every time we open another box of this literature. They were, yeah. But when I unloaded them out of my pickup, they were not. They were when I loaded them. But after I threw them all in my truck, hauled them here, we dug through them out in the shop on Toy Tuesday, the boxes were all mixed up. So we're trying to kind of halfway sort them because I've got a shelf where they're going up on. So I want to kind of try to get them up in that order. So, hey, there's Kevin. Glad you made it. That's the way to go on a lot of that stuff, Matt. You can get new stereos that fit in the hole. I think that's a great plan. Hey, there's Dennis. On my 78 F250, believe it or not, and ordering something like that is probably what I should have done, in all honesty. We tried some OE radios we had on the shelf. None of them worked. And, Matt, I probably should have done that for that pickup. And I think we talked about this on the video. For you guys that may not have caught the video, Dad still had like a late 80s Sparkle-matic cassette deck in the box, brand new on the shelf. And it fit in the hole. So Jay put this totally period correct. If you had a 78 Ford pickup in the 80s and you wanted to put a cassette player in it, this is what it would have had. So he put that in it. It looks right. A little bit of gap around the edge, but for the most part, it fits pretty close. Put the OE knobs back on it. And I was like, oh, yeah. So it's not going to be a magnificent sound system by any means, but it was so period correct for a 78 Ford pickup that you would have been driving in the 80s and you needed to put a cassette player in it. So I was all the way down with that. I thought that was just great. So, hey, there's Big Rig Brett out in Denver tonight. So that's what we went with on it. But anyway, we haven't had a Hudson badge in a minute. We better throw one of those up. So I'll keep you guys posted. We may go down to the body shop and shoot a few clips as he's working on it. Like I said, it's a small shop. It's just him and one other person. And so he doesn't crank a ton of work out of there. He does pretty nice work. Like I said, it's not Concours quality restoration, but that's not what I want for that truck. I want it to look good, be presentable. He's going to buff the whole truck. So what he does paint, we're going to polish out. You're going to polish out everything that we're going to try to save and see how all that looks. And then, knowing we're going to paint the bed and some things like that. So that's kind of the game plan. I'll keep you posted on that. We'll try to get some clips of it down there, and excited to see how it's going to turn out. Real quick, old auctions. If you have unpaid auctions prior to April, I've pulled all that stuff out of the tub to be resold. So if you've got something old hanging, get with me if you still want it. If not, it's just going to go back into the cycle, which is fine. It's not a huge deal. I understand you guys get busy, but I just can't sit on the stuff forever because then I have totes and totes and totes of stuff I'm trying to figure it out. Oh, Dad said the Sparkomatic sounded really good. They said the fact that they took the door panels off and the door speakers had never even been hooked up. So they got those hooked up. And for what it is, it sounds pretty good. So I'm excited to see that truck come together. We're definitely going to keep you posted on it. So if you've got old auction stuff, and let's see, we're the 22nd, so we're almost to July. So here in a week or 10 days, I will also be, we're just going to run up through May. So here at the end of the month, here in a week or 10 days, basically, if it is anything prior to May, I'm going to pull it, and it'll just be put back into the cycle. So if you've got stuff hanging, or if you think you've got something hanging, just give me a call tomorrow. I'll run through the notepad. We'll see what we've got if you still want to get those pieces. Sid is still here. Yep. Yeah, it is back there, Matt. It is back there. I did double check. So we're good on that, and we got some killer stuff tonight. So maybe you can jump in tonight. I'm excited about some of the stuff tonight, so we'll see what happens. One other thing. Next week, I may be out of town. I've got some stuff kind of pending. Sounds good, Pete. Give me a call tomorrow, and we'll see what we can figure out. You've seen it. You know how good it is. It's it's good. You know that. So give me a call. We'll see if we can work out something, and you can own it. So next week, I will throw a post up. If I can, we may jump on for a bit from wherever I'm at. It just depends on how things are going that night. And like I said, this isn't even a sure deal. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Brett hitting us right out of the gate. Supercharged super chat. Boom. Big Rig Brett, always good for one or two of them every night. Way to go, Brett. Big Rig Brett with us out in Denver. Out there keeping the gears turning and the wheels burning. Sparkomatic speaker. Remember those at the local parts store in the day. And you're right, Big John. They were extremely popular. That's probably why Dad still had one on the shelf, because for the money, they were a cheaper stereo, but they always worked well. So you're 100% right on that, Big Job. So next week, keep an eye out on the post. I will try to throw up a notification as to whether or not we'll be on. If I'm out of town and I can get on, we may jump on for a short stint. But that being said, we'll see how it goes. So keep that in mind for next week and see how things go on Sunday. And if I can, I'll jump on. And it may not even come together. If it doesn't come together, then we'll be here like normal. I just want to give you guys a heads up that is being discussed at this point. That's a clean truck, Pete. You know that. Who thinks Cream City Pete should come get Sid and save him? You guys, if you guys didn't see the video on Sid, the 56 International, you got to check it out. That's such a great truck. The colors are right. The thing is rock solid. I think there was some rust somewhere, but it was so minimal I can't even remember where. But man, it's great. In fact, I remember Pete was standing there staring at it, so I said, I sent Pete's wife a picture of him standing there staring at it. So he's like, he didn't take a trailer. He can't do anything. So, hey, Joe made it. Joe hanging out with us on Facebook tonight. Save Sid, save Sid, save Sid. So is that the new chant? Who thinks Pete should come get Sid? Let's take a vote. What do you guys think? We'll peer pressure Pete into coming out and getting Sid. Big Rig Brett says yes. Oh, look at all that. Look at all the support you got, Pete. Oh, you're definitely getting a lot of peer pressure now. Hey, that's one thing we can all agree on. We're all great at supporting each other's poor decisions, right? That's what we usually do on here, right? You can do it. That's right. Big job. We'll even give him a Hudson badge to cheer Pete on some more. Okay, let's check out the Nobodies page. What do you guys have going on the Nobodies page? If you guys are not on here, on the Nobodies on Facebook, get on there. Check it out. Answer the questions. Andy or Zach will get you in. I don't manage that page. Andy and Zach take care of that for us. Hey, there's Pete right there. Cream City Pete out at a car show today, even though it was 94. Andy's had a lot of great content on there, guys. I tell you what, I got to give Andy credit. He rolls that 56 Ford pickup everywhere. He drives the wheels off that truck. He drives that truck more than most of us drive all of our cars. So I got to give him credit for that. A lot of great shots he's been sharing with that. But, man, he is running the wheels off that 56 Ford. So if you guys are not on this page and see what's going on there, you guys are posting a lot of great stuff. You're finding car shows, cruise-ins. A lot of great stuff on there. So be sure to check that out, guys. The Nobodies on Facebook. Answer the question. Zach or Andy will get you into the group. Over 100 people in that group, which is awesome. And that's right, Pete. Andy has some great pictures. I said he runs the wheels off that truck. So you got to give him credit for that. Plus credit for him and Zach putting the page together and managing it for us and taking care of that. So But that's the whole purpose. That's why they put the page together, so all you guys can share what you're doing, and it's great. That's the whole purpose of it, because it was talked about for a long time. We get on here for a couple hours every week, but getting into all of everybody's specific stuff, it's difficult to do, but they took care of that for us, so I definitely appreciate those guys doing that. What came in this week? We did pick up some. Actually, I picked up some really cool stuff this week. I'm kind of excited about it. So we'll start off with. I did get a pickup bed trailer, mid-50s Dodge, super killer Dodge tailgate. Been painted about 3 different times. Has some amazing color and patina on this gate. It does have the later fenders, the 53.5 up to 80 rear fenders, which aren't too bad, but that's right, Andy. That's exactly right. So did pick that up. It is I think it's mid to late 50s, possibly into the 60s, but I think it's mid to late 50s. Dodge pickup bed trailer. And like I said, this gate just has such a, because that Dodge was stamped very prominently in the middle of that gate. And with the 3 or 4 different colors on this gate, it's cool. I was kind of excited about it, actually. I didn't need it, but it was kind of neat. Picked up something that doesn't seem like it's that old, but is actually over 30 years old. Picked up a 94 Sedan DeVille. Got the call on it, kind of got to thinking, well, that car's 31 years old now. It's like, holy cow. Yeah, I suppose I probably better grab it. So picked up a 94 Sedan DeVille. Head gaskets were out of the North Star. The left door was damaged, but other than that, it's a pretty straight old car. So I know, Bill. That's kind of how we're all feeling. Picked up a car this week that I've never seen. Last week we talked about the 56 Bel Air 4-door hardtop that I picked up. I went up there, had 3 vehicles bought on pictures, ended up buying 3 more while I was there. Went back and got one of those first part of the week. Didn't even hardly know what it was when I first saw it. Literally had to look it up even to get an idea of what it was. But it's a 1952 Studebaker Starliner 2-door hardtop, and it's got a Studebaker V8 in it in a 52. So I thought, this is pretty odd. It's rough. It's been sitting forever. It's a kind of a tough old car, but link to the Facebook page. I don't know if you can put a Facebook link on YouTube or not. Pete might be able to do it since he's admin or a mod. Only the mods can post the links, but I don't know if it would carry from YouTube to Facebook. That I'm not sure. Yep, you answer the questions. Andy will get you right in immediately, Tim, and you can jump right on. So the Studebaker, it's neat. I don't know if anybody else ever has one. One thing that does concern me a little bit, because obviously I need to sell parts off of it to pay for it. When I Google it and it brings up that little box that says images of the 52 Studebaker Starliner, there was only a handful of cars. There was lots of pictures, but they were all the same 3 or 4 cars. So that's a little bit concerning when there's almost all the pictures of the same handful of cars out there, and that's like everywhere. So like I said, it is a unique car. If somebody does need parts for one, there's not going to be much out there to get parts off of. I'm pretty sure of that. But like I said, it's already bought it. I paid for it. It's here. So hopefully somebody will need something. But we'll definitely get a video done on it. It's such a unique car. And really, you step back and look at it, some of the proportions almost seem out of whack on it. You see a toy car and something looks squished or too big or too wide. It almost kind of looks that way. But it's the real car. So definitely kind of it's an oddity. It's an odd find, but a neat car. So I got that picked up Monday, Tuesday, something like that. I think it was Monday. Go out, get it unloaded, check some parts, do some stuff at the yard, come back in about 4, back the truck and trailer in, do a couple things around the shop, come in here, sit down on the computer about 5, and just scrolling through Facebook, checking eBay, a couple things before I went home to eat. Are you spelling it like this, Tim, with the DDIES? Capital N, capital B, and then DDIES. Maybe try getting all those capitalizations in there. Maybe that'll find it, Tim. Hey, there's John Sanderson. So I get back, like I said, park the truck, flipping through Facebook, checking eBay, checking analytics on YouTube, seeing what's going on. As I'm scrolling through Facebook, 1948 Cadillac, 30 minutes from me. Complete car. No phone number, of course, but the phone number was written on the windshield of the car in the pictures. Perfect. Grab the phone. And about 30 minutes later, I was pulling the truck and trailer back out of the shop and had about a 30-minute drive ahead of me. And the thing is, this thing is like missing a couple of hubcaps. The skirts were still in the trunk. Always loved Cadillacs. You know, they were the standard of the world. They're super cool cars. They've got great ornamentation, and they're just neat looking cars. Never had a 48 Cadillac. There is 147 over on the new side, what I call the new yard, but very, very little left of it. No front clip or nothing. When I bought the place, it was pretty heavily stripped. And like I said, this 48 is almost totally complete. So definitely excited about that. Can't wait to bring you a video on that and see if we got a brochure on that one as well to check out. Hudson badge. So some cool stuff hitting the ground this week. And there again, I got some videos put together. I got more cars in now that I got to do videos on. So I'm not gaining any ground here. How about we're ready to do the raffle? Who's ready to give away this thing? This thing's gonna hurt. This thing is beautiful. Check this thing out. Oh man, that would be cool, Brett. Did you find it, Tim? Okay, so we just had 3 requests on the Facebook page. Only one guy answered the questions. So or if you're not sure about the questions, let us know and we'll walk you through it. Perfect. All right. Matt is ready for it. Okay. We're going to give this away. Then we're going to give away 10 free entries into next month. Then we're going to give away, we're going to yank out 4 more names in bonus drawings for our friend from Canada that we lost a couple weeks ago. And you guys remember all the donations he gave. He sent us all the viewer boxes, the Canadian plates. Was just an amazing supporter of what we do here. And I want to give some toys and emblems away that he donated in honor of him since we lost him. So that's right, big job. So, and real quick, I guess we'll just talk about this real quick before we get too far into this. You know, like I touched on last week, it was some weird spinal disease. I don't understand what it all was. But it just didn't allow him to mess with cars. But he loved cars. So by being involved with us here and as well as other YouTube channels, it kept him involved in what he loved. And he did a lot of us. He sent us a lot of stuff. And he always told me, you know, if you want to pass it along, share it with the other viewers. That's what we're going to do tonight. You know, he wanted, you know, he never wanted to be really talked about. He liked remaining anonymous, and I fully respected that, and I understand that. But it's one of those things. I knew where he was coming from. And I know there's a lot of people out there that everybody has their own personal struggles. But even with what he was up against, he chose not to let it stop him. He couldn't go out and build a car. He couldn't. But he loved it. He stayed involved however he could. He did mess with a lot of toys. He sent me some custom toys that said nobody's on them. So I don't care who you are, what you do. If you want to put the effort forth to be involved with what you love, you can. And that's what he did. And he lived his life to the fullest by doing that. So that's right. Adjust, adapt, and overcome. And that's what he did. He couldn't go out and build cars. He couldn't go out and work on them, but he could still mess with toys. He could be involved. He donated stuff to us, which we're going to pass some on to you guys. We've done some of that in the past as well. So, it's one of those things when I know it's not just him, but I know there's a lot of us that have things we're dealing with. But when I hear people complaining and whining and crying about something that's too hard, or the trolls that get on here and want to cause problems and things like that, I have zero respect for people like that, because our friend from Canada is a textbook example that if you want to put your mind to it, you can be involved with what you want to do. So I'm pleased that we're going to be able to pass some of this stuff along tonight. But that's why we never talked about him a lot. He wanted to remain anonymous, but he wanted to stay involved, and that's how he did it. So that's and I got nothing but respect for anybody like that, and the fact that he stayed involved all the way till the end, as long as he possibly could, in what he loved to do. And since he couldn't do it himself, he did what he could do, and he sent it to me to share with you guys to stay involved in cars. So I don't have any respect or any use for any people that want to whine, complain, and bitch and moan about something they don't like, or it's too tough, or I don't like this, or I don't like that, or they don't like the way I did something. I don't care, because I know there's guys out there just like our friend from Canada that wants to stay involved and will do it at whatever they have to do. So which is awesome. And we get to share some of that with you guys tonight. So, thanks for that, Big Job. And that's one thing he watched all this, but he never commented. He was always here with us. I knew it. Pete knew it. Big Job knew it because they were in touch with him through email, but he didn't comment. He liked to just lay low, but he was very active in what we were doing. So, hey, there's Tony in. So anyway, let's give away this absolutely amazing Mark's Fire Chief car and some new entries into next month's raffle. Then we're going to share some of our stuff with our friend from Canada that we lost. And then we're going to announce the new raffle, which will run through the end of July. I think the July 31st is like on a Thursday. So like that first weekend in August, we'll give the new one away. So who got in this week? Kevin Brown, Matt Williams, Ron Levesque, and Waycamp. So, without further ado, let's shake them all up in the big Buick oil can and yank out a name. All right. I guess it's too late. I got to give it away. We're this far in. This thing is original. Original paint. Original drive line. The only thing that can make this even better was if it had the box. It's good enough. It's almost mint, but it doesn't have the box. Who's it going to? Way Camp. Big Ron from the UK and the USA tonight in LeClaire. So I assume you're up at the Picker store probably. All right, I got to send a shot of this to Tractor Mike. I'm sure he's on the combine, but I got to send a shot of this to Tractor Mike. So bear with me, guys. I know Tractor Mike ain't got time to mess with us tonight, but I got to send him a picture of this. So, hey, Way Camp is on tonight. I figured you'd be working too. I still hate to see this one go. But starting tomorrow. Okay. So you're ready to cut tomorrow. Is Mike cutting yet? Not sure. Okay. You'll get there eventually. Your phone keeps getting you, doesn't it? Okay, 10 free entries into next month. And we'll show you what next month's going to be here in a little bit. Way Camp is out. And then the bonus raffles are going to be whoever for whatever. There's not going to be any restrictions on the bonus raffles. Austin. Okay. Now, yeah, that is you. I see Ron. Back to the 50 show in Minneapolis. I have heard that is a doozy of a show. So you'll have to hit the American Picker store. And I haven't been up there in a while. We used to go to Robbie's shop too. So, okay, we're going to do 4 more drawings, kind of in honor of our friend from Canada. Then we need to auction something too. We haven't auctioned anything yet tonight either. What I've got 4 pieces. Well, 4 groups of pieces. Okay, and I'll let you guys pick if you guys you can respond quickly enough. First off, we've got a few toy cars. These are the larger Matchbox. Well, one's a larger Matchbox on a Fire Chief Mopar station wagon and a Dodge Diplomat police car. These are a little larger than like a Hot Wheels size. An Ohio cut right after Memorial Day. Huh. These are about 4.5 inches long. Okay, so this is one of them. Also, there is a Renwall gasoline truck. And if you guys remember, he sent us a lot of badges and ornaments. So we're going to throw a few emblems in with the gasoline truck, a Dart custom badge, and a Cordoba badge. So like if you guys remember, he sent us plates, emblems, toys, cans. So I just kind of grabbed a mixture of what he liked to donate to us. This pair of cars, these are Dinkies. Looks like an old Plymouth wagon. And an old Oldsmobile, which has had some paint work done, would need to be restored. And finally, this is, in fact, this is Hot Wheels brand. Bob's Sand and Gravel Dump Truck, as well as a Datsun badge, and this is metal, and a Royal badge from a late 40s, early 50s era Chrysler. Okay, so those are the 4 lots that we're going to draw and give away this. There again, all donated by our good friend from Canada that we just lost a few weeks ago. So anyway, these are bonus drawings. So Way Camp, Austin, everybody's back in. So we'll draw a name and you guys let me know what you want and we'll mark it down. Way Camp. What do you want to add to your box, Way Camp? Fuel truck. All right. You got a good night of toys going. We'll add the fuel truck to that. Let me mark that on my list. Put it right up here with your other toy. How about that? We'll start as a Way Camp shelf up there. You're the next. You got the next drawings, right? You got 10 entries into the next drawing, Austin, for next month. Ron Levesque. I think you are on, Ron, or you were on with us. You still with us? Fire Chief. Okay. These 2 going to Ron. Two more. Matt. There you go, Matt. Hey, there's Frank. Matt, you still Bob truck and badges, okay? Oh, they all came in so quick, I almost missed it. Okay? Let's write Matt's name on that one. And one more, the 2 dinkies, the old Plymouth wagon and the old Oldsmobile. Randy with a Nut Farm. All right. Okay. That's right. Congratulations to all of our winners. little bit different knowing that we're not going to get any more viewer boxes from our friend in Canada after the last couple of years of all the amazing stuff that he shared with us. Well, that worked out perfectly anyway then. and maybe that's how it worked. We do 4 extra bonuses. Way Camp obviously won one of those and the big one, but we got 4 different winners, and everybody actually got what they wanted, which I think is amazing and a testament. And maybe he's hanging out here with us tonight and helped that happen. That 4 different winners got 4 different things, and everybody got what you wanted. So it's sad that he's not going to be part of the show on a regular basis anymore. But we know he's in a better place, and got a lot of respect for somebody like that no matter what life deals them, you step up and you just don't let it stop you. So we're going to miss him, even though he wasn't a part of the chat. He was here every time and was much, much more involved than most of you guys actually realized. So thanks to him for everything he did for us. And he's in a better place now, and hopefully he's comfortable and at peace. So anyway, let's announce next month's raffle, and then we need to auction something, right? Let's auction something now anyway. How about that? Well, I'm going to make you wait a minute before we announce the next month's raffle, because you guys are going to lose your minds. I think you're going to lose your minds. Nobody will probably care, but I think you're going to lose your minds. Let's sell a license plate. Let's sell, I don't know, an emblem. Oh, I did get some cool stuff this week too. All right, let's just start off with a cheaper plate. 90 seconds on the clock. Oh, well, you're good then, Matt. Mike from Texas is here. We'll usually start off with something cheaper. Let's catch a plate. You say it's not that old, but it's kind of crazy to think it's from the 80s and it's almost 40 years old. Yeah, as if the 94 Cadillac didn't make you feel old. 1987 was almost 40 years ago. Holy cow. This is an antique plate. Like I told you guys, I'm going to sell you a newer plate that's going to be cheaper to start things off with, and it's an antique. What's cool about it, though, is a D tag, and it is a crazy low number. D tag number 2. Look at this. Dealer number 2. Single digit. Not many of these out there. 1987. It is a stamped metal plate. This is printed on here off-white with a metallic or kind of a emerald green coloring on the plate. So there again, I just said it was a newer plate, something cheaper to start out with, and I realized it was 38 years old. Jeez. I know, exactly, Pete. The Daytona's an antique. It's crazy. Anyway, here's the first piece. If anybody wants to throw a bid in on it, as always, everything tonight's smaller stuff, so shipping will be included with it. Ron Levesque at 15. Check, money order, Western Union, PayPal, friends and family, any of that stuff works. If you pay with PayPal, make sure you have an address on there. If there's no address on a PayPal, I have to refund it. So if you got any questions, you can always give me a call. If you're new to us, you see something you want to bid on, go ahead, bid on it. Call me tomorrow. I'll walk you through all of it. Shipping's included in the 48 states. If you're non-U.S. buyer, that's fine, but you will need to figure out how to get me paid. And we can build it up a little bit, and you will be responsible for non-U.S. shipping. So, Ron at 15, almost to that 30-second mark. I did hit the timer, and there is 30 seconds on the first plate. Single digit, 38-year-old from 1987 D-tag. Better write this down. I forgot to log it. And I got a couple of knockout plates set out for tonight too. And I got some killer caps. 1 minute gone, 30 seconds left to go. So we'll see how far we get in auctions tonight. I did find a small collection of something we all like that I have not found before. FG went through the alphabet, A, B, C, D, and then they would start doubling letters up after if you had over 26 plates. So this was a bigger dealership. Just about ready to wrap this one up. And going in Ron's pile at 15. There is still some tag collectors here in Great Bend, yes, Casey. Some of those guys, some of the guys are still pretty involved. One of them, one of the guys who was a big Model T guy we lost a few years ago, I did buy his complete Barton County collection, truck and regular vehicle. I was able to get to buy that from him and his wife before he passed. And but yeah, there is still some active guys here, Casey, but probably not as many as there were. But there again, that's $15, single digit plate. That's a cool piece. Add that to Ron's pile. And a Hudson badge. All right, let's catch Big Job's comment. I didn't want to stop and take. I wanted to get through that plate before we spend a minute on what Big Job said. This show has brought a lot of great people together. When we lose one, it's always sad. But how lucky we were to spend some time together and share our memories and love for automotive history. And that's exactly right, Big Job. We talked about that a little bit last week. We've lost some great guys on here. Our friend from Canada, Withrow, L from NC, and many others. But if you don't have something, you never have anything to lose. And the fact that we've got this group and the people that are part of it, it does affect us when we lose someone, but that's because we have so much because of this group anyway. And that's kind of how I see it, because we wouldn't be here hanging out, talking about what we love. And even our friend from Canada, he wouldn't have been here if he didn't love cars. So it's one thing about it. If you never have anything, you never have anything to lose. It hurts when you do lose something, but it's because of what you guys have turned this group into is why we feel those losses. So it's a catch-22, but it's part of having something this great. Oh wow. Are you here? Where are you from, Casey? I don't know. Are you apparently in Kansas? Was your granddad from Great Bend? I wonder if I knew him. But yeah, this collection I bought was 13 on up as well. I just seen that, Brett. I just seen it pop up while the timer was going, so I'll check it later. Hey, there's Leo. Okay, he was from Garden. Okay. So, yeah, I probably wouldn't have known him, but yeah, it's cool. But yeah, there's still some of those guys around. Oh, okay, another thing I wanted to touch on. I got a collection of these, about a dozen or 15. Some of them I'll probably keep. I didn't see any duplicates on a quick glimpse through the box. We've done some of these in the past. I love them. I know you guys love them, but I haven't come up with any in quite a while. But we've got some, so we're going to do a few of them tonight. We're going to do one right now. The tire ashtrays. We love these things, right? An ashtray with a tire. Go Goodyear, go. Actual glass ashtrays in a rubber tire that was a copy of a real tire. This one, a power cushion Goodyear. Yeah, I know, Gary. We love these things. So I'm actually pretty excited about these. Like I said, on a quick glance, I didn't see any duplicates. There is a few that I think I want, but we're going to add a lot of these to your guys' collection. You don't even, nobody gives away ashtrays anymore anyway, but these old tire ones are so great. Burl Loving, 2-car garage, every square inch covered with plates. I'm sure they probably did at some point, Andy. 5 3/4 overall diameter on the tire. You can see the Goodyear. You can see the winged foot. I mean, this is literally an exact replica of a tire. This is actually painted on the bottom of the ashtray. Go Goodyear, go. Yeah, I think you did say something about that, Matt. So anyway, the next item up for bids, Randall the Nut Farm at 20. Glenn remembers his grandfather. Yeah, everybody had these things. Let's get it on the timer. These things are cool. And we will have some various ones coming up over the next several weeks. But like I said, I don't think there's any duplicates. VW at 25. $30 seconds gone. Get in there, Caldwell. VW at 25. John Sanderson, 30. One minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Game for party gifts at the Oberlin Co-op. Sanderson at 30 as we're getting ready to wind this one down. Hey, there's Eric. Few seconds left. I got John at 30. And Randall come in at 131 at 31. John was still in at a minute 30. It was this tight, Nut Farm, but you missed it by a second. Holy cow, that was close. But John had it as it rolled to the minute 30 mark. And that's the only fair way to do it. And he must have seen it because he came back at 32, but I didn't see him in time. Whew, that was close. All right. Let's keep moving here. Catch a badge, a cap. We'll auction a few more pieces here shortly. Brochure, lots of cool stuff going on. Promo model, story time. Lots of cool stuff happening yet tonight. Okay. Badge. Tonight's badge is something a little bit different. Don't think we've had one of these before. Yeah, we did, John. It worked out great for you. I mean, it was literally 131 and 31. I was like, boom, right at the exact same time, 131 and 31 on the two screens. Let's have a Hudson badge after that one. But tonight's badge is off of a bus. This is off of a mid-60s GMC school bus, but it's not a GMC badge. No, I got the Wayne badge off the side of the bus. This came right off where the door folded open so the school kids could get on, right beside the bus, right exactly where you would see it. This is actually a pop metal, fairly heavy emblem. It is flat. It has two holes in it, and it was literally just screwed right to the side of the bus. Not a very common piece. If we go all the way out to the tips of the crown, it's 8 inches. I don't know if I'm going to sell this one or not, Gary, yet. I haven't decided. And 3.5 tall. But it is something definitely different. I thought it made kind of an interesting badge. It's actually, this is all kind of textured in here. And then had the bright chrome on the high points, even on the Wayne letters where it was the double line. This was all bright chrome. Even the tips of the crown were bright chrome. Could have been. Maybe that was his name. Yeah, you can change your name to Wayne just so you can have the badge. Yeah. But kind of a neat piece. This actually came from where I bought that 56 Chevy. The bus was pretty rough. They were going to scrap it. Been sitting flat on the ground for years. But I couldn't let this go to scrap. And I also bought I bought the grill and the hood off of it. Those were pretty nice. But the bus was just pretty tough. But I thought this was a great piece. I thought this was a great piece to share with you guys tonight for an emblem. I don't know if they were GM built. I think they were GM chassis. Typically on a bus, the firewall forward was built at GM, and then there was nothing behind the firewall. It was the firewall forward, complete drivetrain and chassis, and then they went to the bus company for the bus bodies. Is typically how most of those were done. That's why I grabbed the hood and the grill. Oh, look at that. Brett hitting us up again. Boom. Brett hitting us with another supercharged super chat. Boom. Always got that badge right there ready to rock and roll. We drop whatever we do whenever we get hit with a supercharged super chat. 2 of them tonight for Brett. Okay. How about a cap? We got a great cap tonight, too. Pretty cool badge. I got a neat cap laid out, too. I think this is around 41-ish. Got a water spot on there. Don't like that. Polish that up a bit. It's got some dings and dents, some hickeys around the edges. Like I said, I think it's early 40s because by late 40s they'd gone, I'm pretty sure, to mostly full-size caps. But this is a good-looking piece. I love the center on it. Even though it's got some dings and dents in it, it's still a statement piece. On this one, like I said, what I think is about a 41, maybe 42. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Boom. Andy, the Rusty Okie, coming in with another supercharged super chat. Look at that. You guys are just, we're going to wear this thing out. Thanks to you guys for the super chats. The reason we do this is it's fun. And I appreciate you guys who think enough of what we do here to hit us with even the small super chats. You think enough of what we do to hit us with them because you're having a good time. We're all having fun together. That's why the supercharged super chat badge is so much fun. Straight off of a supercharged 1935 Auburn Bowtail Speedster. This is an original that was restored and then replaced with one that was even better on the car. On the supercharged super chat badge for you guys hitting us with super chats. Thank you very much. Back to the cap. Kind of got off course there for just a second. Like I said, I think it's 41, 42-ish era, maybe 46. Cadillac. Look at that one. I love that. Check that out, guys. Look at that badge. This is smaller dog dish type cap. Does have a lot of dings and dents. I don't know how it got beat up so bad right here around the edge, but it sure did. That's right, Pete. It's a good-looking piece. The chrome has a great shine. This is a metal cap with a chrome cap over it. Oh, what's that? What's that? Coming in again from the Nut Farm. Supercharged super chat from the Nut Farm. Boom. Good thing this is a big, heavy pop metal emblem. Grabbing it this much, we're going to wear it out. But there it is, another supercharged super chat, courtesy of the Nut Farm. Appreciate it, guys. There again, we have fun doing it, but it's just the fact that you guys think enough of what we're doing to throw a couple bucks out there. So definitely think we're I think you did, Brett. I think you started a trend. Another supercharged super chat badge, courtesy of the Nut Farm. So anyway, that's right. Hit the like button. Appreciate that, Matt. I thought this is a great looking cap. One thing we don't see a lot. We see a lot, most of these are a chrome cap that is stamped over a metal base. But the Cadillac badge on these are actually separate, and you can see the little tabs where the badge is put on these Cadillac caps. But there again, it was Cadillac. They didn't just stamp a design in the chrome cap, slap it on it. Lots of hearts. We haven't seen that many hearts tonight. That's awesome. They're still going. I'm taking that as a good sign. It's a neat looking piece. It's got an outside perimeter here of some design in it. And then this, obviously, if you guys can, I think you guys will be able to make out the detail. These hearts are still going in the center badge. Boom! I think you did start something, Brett, because it's another supercharged super chat from Eric. That is Eric's first super chat on a live stream. So thanks, Eric. Boom. Hitting it up with another supercharged super chat badge. Thanks to Eric. Jeff from Ottawa. Hearts are still going. We're having fun. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. The supercharged super chats are awesome. Like I said, just the fact that you guys are having a good enough time that it's worth throwing a couple bucks at it. It's awesome. And one of these days, we're going to get through the Cadillac cap. That's fine. We'll supercharge super chat. We got to take a break for them. But anyway, back to the detail in the center of this Cadillac cap. You can see the ridges all stamped in here. This is all stamped. All this detail. You can see the lines even in the crest. Very, very meticulously done piece. So good looking cap. Excited about it. I thought it was great. Obviously, the river of hearts have slowed down, but there was a lot of them. And Eric likes seeing Auburn stuff. I think everybody likes seeing Auburn stuff. That's not too bad of stuff to see. So anyway, I saw a ton of hearts. And everybody really digs it. And everybody thought it was really cool, obviously. But guess what? I've had this cap for a long time. There goes the hearts again. I've had this cap for a long time. I'm trying to decide what to do with it because I wanted to make sure that I had a duplicate. And guess what? I've got a duplicate of this cap. This is an extra. Pete, 25. That didn't take long. I think I didn't. Did I have the whole word extra out of my mouth before Pete bid on it? Yes, this is an extra, and it can go. We ready? We're going to put it on the timer. Pete at 25, and here we go. Great looking piece. Awesome badge. Neat looking cap. Let me give you a dimension on it so you have a size on it. Right at 10 inches, like most of these caps are. Pete at 25, we are live on the timer. This is going down the road to someone else's collection. And we need to get back to, we forgot to announce the new raffle. There's a pretty good chance there could be some snipers on this one. 30 seconds gone. We're going to know in 60 seconds how many snipers are out there. Ron, 30. That's right. The ridge on the cap did actually save the badge. That's a good point. Coming up on the 1 minute mark, awful quiet. Ron and Pete. 1 minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Ron at 30. We're ticking away. We're coming down to the end. We're getting close. Kevin, 35. Eric, 32. Kevin, 35. Pete, 36. Kevin, 42. And that does it. Kevin at 42. Bill Disk at a 43, but it was too late. Kevin Brown at 42. When it comes to caps, Kevin's tough. There's no doubt about it. But that's a cool one. And while we were on badges and caps, speaking of the GMC bus, I did get something GMC off that bus. How about a horn button? Anybody interested in the horn button off the Wayne bus? Figured I'm grabbing this. I better have that. Why do we sell the GMC horn button while we're doing caps? And let's squeeze a badge. Let's go ahead and sell this badge. I'm not sure about the Wayne yet, but I will sell the GMC badge to you guys off of the bus. Both together. I don't know about the Wayne. I still don't know what I'm going to do with the Wayne. So I figured I'd throw this up as maybe a consolation auction piece. What do you guys think? This is pot metal. These have a rubber ring that mounts them in. Tony at 10, but they're kind of a neat looking piece. Matt at 18. 2 3/4 in diameter. So almost 3 inches in diameter. It is cast pot metal. The insert was originally black. You could paint the insert any color you wanted. But I always thought these were kind of a neat looking piece. Got a mechanic coming. There you go. We're on the timer on the GMC horn button. And we've got Matt at 18. John at 20. Just past that 30-second mark. Great mountain climber. Yep. Some of those early four-wheel drives. Yep. One minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Coming out of the end, I got John at 20. Pete, 36, and that does it. Holy cow. That was like at 129. I thought it was over. Pete come in at 36. Holy cow, that was like, boom. Wow. He made it, but like by a 1 second made it. Holy Toledo. All right. I want to do one. I got a couple plates out here, guys, that I told you were just had great colors, looked amazing. So I do want to get one of these done. Let's do this one first. I got 2 of them that look great. We'll see if we can get to both of them tonight, or whether we'll start with this one. Colors on this are amazing. It is used, but until I could find the scratches on the paint, I wasn't quite sure. But this is a great looking plate. 1959, which Kansas had great colors in both 58 and 59. 58 was a blue base with yellow letters. 59, kind of a yellowy orange with kind of a royal blue lettering. Condition on this thing is amazing. Plus, it's a little bit different, kind of an oddball plate. No, Jeff, we haven't got to the promo yet. We're kind of bouncing all over the board tonight. We'll get it squeezed in here shortly. Let's catch this plate, and then we'll do a couple more things, and then we'll do maybe the promo and a couple other. Yeah, we'll do the promos coming up here pretty quick, actually. I agree, Nick. I think 58, 59 were great. Plus, this one is ham radio, so it's even more odd and more rare. On this 1959 Kansas ham radio. And guys, I'm just going to forewarn you on condition. The colors on this thing are amazing. Look at this. Are you ready? This is original. This has not been restored. It has not been repainted. I waxed it real quick. And I had to look real close. When I started, I could see here where it had a screw put on it. So it was used. Brett, 20. But it was on something that probably never left the garage. Ron, 40. The backside, there again, a few scuffs from where it was on the vehicle. But this thing is just, wow. We are on the timer on this thing as we kind of take it in. Yep, that's right, Brett. You are a ham radio guy. This is all stamped in at the corner of the state design. You can see on the back where that is actually stamped in. But, man, the colors on this thing just amazing. Ron at 40. See if anybody even wants to step up and challenge him. He came out swinging on that because this thing is a great-looking plate. Just past that 30-second mark. Coming up on the minute, Brett, 42. Coming up on the 1 minute mark, Brett at 42. 1 minute gone, 30 seconds left to go. Ron, 44. Just about ready to wind it up, ticking it down. And that does it. Ron at 44. So Matt got 59 from us like that one time too. Yeah, they're just great colors. So I think you're going to like that one, Ron. It's just a knockout plate. All right, we need to announce the new raffle. I got one other plate we might try to squeeze in tonight too that's just great. Yeah, I figured you were, Brett. Okay, who's ready for the new raffle for July? You guys know it's Auburn Court Duesenberg a couple weeks ago, right? You remember that? There goes some fireworks. Okay, guys. I had to do some digging while I was there. This is not the best one, but it is an original one. The raffle piece for July. I almost want to keep this, but I've got them. I think you guys are going to be excited about it. I hope you're going to be excited about it. It is definitely not something you see. It is definitely not something you're going to stumble across at a swap meet. It is definitely something that when you hang this on the wall of your man cave, people are going to go, what in the heck is that? It's got some surface rust on it. It's not something somebody's going to put on a restored car. You got to remember, they made just under 3,000 of these cars total in history. That was it. So you don't come across a ton of original parts. And this month's raffle is going to be for an original 1936 Cord hubcap. So I hope you guys like it. It is kind of banged up. It does have some surface rust in it. These actually had a mounting ring in here, which is missing. It was taken out. I've shared some of these with you that I've gotten in the past. I've got one of each. Believe it or not, 36, 37 is slightly different. 36, this raised area is a little shorter. 37, it's a little taller. I have one of each. We've looked at them on here. You guys loved them. So when I was there, we did some digging. Doug and I had to do some scrounging, digging behind the racks. They've got several blanks Some of them were chrome, and I think some of them were painted. I'm not sure. This one is not chromed at all. It does have some surface rust in it. It would take a ton of work to clean this up and make it look nice for a show car. But that's right, or a UFO from a 50s Hollywood movie department. That's a good point, Brett. It is about 15 inches across. It has the cutout for the valve stem. So, like I said, we did a lot of digging. They had several caps there, but they're all reproductions. Even some takeoff reproductions, some stuff that they've restamped, things like that. It's not extremely heavy. It's just like sheet metal. It's a little bit thicker than what normal, something from today would be, but it is original 1936 cord 810 cap. Definitely a statement piece in anybody's man cave collection. So I thought we'd throw it out there and see what you guys think for the raffle. So what's your opinion? What do you guys think? You dig it? Is it cool? Is it not cool? I was excited to get my original caps for my collection, so I hope you guys are excited about raffling this one off. Good. Looks like we've got some guys that are digging it. I thought it was a neat idea. I just hope you guys think it's a neat idea and want to buy a few tickets for it. So anyway, that's what we've got. An original 1936 cord 810 cap. Now, you got to remember, then it would look like a spaceship. There goes the hearts. That's a good sign. So kind of a neat piece, something different, absolutely heavier than today's plastic caps. So you got to remember they made almost 3,000 cars in 36 and 37. So obviously each one had 4 caps. So if you split that in half and say they made 1,500 and 1,500, that means they made about 6,000 of those caps. Now you think, 6,000, that's a lot. Well, you got to remember, when you look at a normal vehicle that they made 150,000 of and put 4 caps on them, that's 600,000 caps. These were 6,000 caps ever. Hey, there's Mark. So you kind of put that into perspective, and it's kind of like, wow, it just kind of makes you think that there's just not a lot of those out there. Sounds good, Tim. I thought it was a neat piece. I thought it was a good raffle piece. I hope you guys dig it, and we have some fun with it. So anyway, let's catch the promo. Maybe another auction item or two. A little story time. That is true. It's heavier than most front suspensions nowadays. We need an Auburn badge while we're thinking about it. We've been wearing out the Supercharged Super Chat badge. We need to get the regular Auburn badge out for a bit. As we get into tonight's promo, tonight, going back 45 years, and you think we're going back 45 years, you think we're going back to the 60s, maybe the 50s. No, we're going back to the 80s. Yeah. To this 1980 Monte Carlo in light camel. Kind of a lighter metallic color. Once again, like all the Chevys out of this big Chevy dealership promo collection that Dad and I bought last fall, condition is outstanding. Bumper tips aren't chipped. Lights are intact. Original tires and wheels. They're not scuffed up. They're not beat up. As with all these promos, it is a one-piece molded plastic bottom. They did actually make sure they had the catalytic converter on this, being a 1980. It did show that. This one was painted. We look at some of these. Some of these, the bodies are in molded color. Some of them are painted to match the color available on the car. We can see the slight difference in the brown on the bottom versus the light camel metallic on the body, closer to match the actual color of the car. The interiors were in the original molded plastic. This one equipped with buckets, console. So kind of a sportier looking Monte Carlo on the inside, although kind of basic caps or basic wheels on the outside with white wall tires. There's a lot of these that got turned into stock cars, that's for sure. So obviously G-bodies continue to get more and more and more popular all the time. This one, a great looking promo. Hard to believe it's 45 years old, but it is. And we've got a lot more of these coming. We are past the halfway point. We've probably got 15 more to go, maybe. We bought 49 of them. There were 84 there that day. We ended up with 50 of the 84. One went to Tractor Mike, and Dad and I have 49 of them. We've probably got 15 left. I don't think we've got 20 left. Got parts of these in the shed. So there's tonight's promo, the 1980 Monte Carlo in light camel. Who's ready for some story time? Story time where we take a look back in time at a car that Dad flipped 40 years ago, 50 years ago, somewhere in those vicinities. We've been having a ton of fun with these, especially since Dad pulled out all of his old files from when he actually did these cars. This one going back to the summer of 1981, 44 years ago when the Monte Carlo was still a brand new car. As crazy as that sounds. Hey, there's Steve. We've been having a ton of fun with this. You guys have loved this segment, so let's catch this one and see what you guys think. I don't think the SS came out until like 84, if I remember correctly, Brett. I think 84 was when they came out with the actual SS Monte Carlo. In the summer of 1981, Dad picked up a 1972 Chevy Impala. This particular green four-door. This car, from the way it looks, turned into kind of a nightmare. So we'll see if Dad has any other input on it, but Google says 83. Okay. I knew it was something like that. I didn't think it was that early. Kind of a basic green 72 Impala sedan. So let's check out the file on this one, and it's a big file. All this work. So let's start off with buying the car before we really get into what it needed. Remember, this is a 1972. According to the paperwork, it had about 85,000 miles on it. On a 72 Impala. This is, you got to remember, this is in actually January of 81 is when he bought the car. So he bought the car January 27th of 1981. So this car was 9 years old. Basically almost 8 years old. It just turned 81. So 8.5-year-old used car. So basically like going to the lot and buying a 2016, 2017 car today, right now, right? In 1981, in January, he had the same 72 in the same color, $65 for it. So can you imagine going down to the used car lot and buying a 2016 car for $65? It probably was wrapped around 3 trees to buy it for $65. But that's what he paid for this thing. With tax, out the door, $66.95. However, when we go through the work order on this car, R&R engine and overhaul. R&R transmission and overhaul. R&R upper control arm bushings. R&R idler arm and center link. So I had to overhaul the motor, overhaul the tranny, and rebuild the front end. Repair exhaust, pack wheel bearings, brake pads, turn drums and rotors, rear shoes. So it needed pads, shoes, and did turn drums and rotors. So it needed a front suspension, brake job, and overhaul transmission and engine. Repair AC. Tire, mountain balance tires. Change oil, of course. Repair high blower. Put a windshield in it. Put a back window in it. Or R&R windshield, R&R back window. And that's because put a trunk mat in it, overhauled the starter, repair lights, body repair and painting. That's just all I remember. It was a never-ending problem. So had to pull the glass out of it probably when he painted it. Clean up R&R lower grill. So we had to put the lower grill in it. Side moldings. So this thing turned into a nightmare. I mean, basically, this was a 9-year-old car, and he pretty much restored it. Other than the interior. Rebuilt the motor, rebuilt the tranny, rebuilt the front end, did all the brakes, and painted the car. So let's check out. That may have been the Nut Farms trade-in. You were that hard on things. Let's see what there's a bunch of tickets here, obviously. Let's see how much some of this stuff cost. Some of the engine parts. Fixed exhaust system, $12. Probably a $350. It doesn't say on here. Freon, $4.68. Seal kits, probably for the windows, $7.50. Or no, water pump seal kit. Must have rebuilt the water pump. Got a used taillight lens, wheel opening molding, got a used windshield, 4 used tires that he traded for. So he must have traded, he traded a car in for the parts to fix it. I actually traded in a 72 Le Mans. That might have been that GT37. Dad said it was a 350. You remember that. So I wonder if that was that. It says trade on a 72 Le Mans for the parts. I wonder if that was as I remember, there was a GT37 out back at that point. $1 gallon of Ditzler. $28.70. 1 gallon of thinner, $7.15. 1 quart of paint, $8.30. So obviously was able to trade out a bunch of the parts, but by the time this thing was over said and done with, when I go through all of the numbers here at the bottom, basically after he did all that work, the car, he got decent money out of the car. He bought it for $65 and sold it for $1,600 6 months later. But when you figured in the time, he lost almost $700 of his labor doing it that way. So got all of his money back out of the parts, but that's an awful lot of work to lose $700 in labor on that thing. So obviously this thing was just a can of worms that everything he touched needed to work. So although most of them come out pretty good, this one, not quite so well. Didn't lose anything, but lost a lot of time. Didn't lose any money, but lost a lot of time when you figured in the actual labor that he put into this thing to get this ready to sell. So they're not all home runs, but that one turned into obviously a problem. All right, let's squeeze a few more auction pieces in here because I got a couple more things I definitely want to squeeze in tonight. I think you guys are going to get a kick out of. Another ashtray and another license plate. Check out this Goodyear polysteel. I told you guys we're going to have some fun with these things because they are great pieces. I was excited about this deal. Let's see what you guys think. This one, once again, they're painted on the bottom. The Goodyear is, you read from the top. This is an actual exact copy of a tire. Custom polysteel radial. You can see the tread pattern on it. Nut Farm 25. Same thing on the back. These things are just too cool. So here we go. Let's go ahead and kick off the timer. Gary 29, and then we'll give you some dimensions on it. This one is right at 6 inches as well. On the Goodyear Industrial Belting and Supply Company. "30 seconds gone. Tony VW 30. Coming up on that 1 minute mark. One minute gone, 30 seconds left to go. There's Ken from Illinois. And these things are so great, Ken. I was excited to find this collection. Can't wait to share some of them with you. There's a few of them I'll probably keep, but a lot of these are going to move on down the road. Totally VW at 30. As we're ticking away, coming down to the end. Nut Farm 35. Kevin 34. And that does it. Nut Farm at 35. These things are just so cool. Okay, guys, I told you I had one more super killer plate. I want to get that done. And what else we got? Maybe we'll do one or two more things. Ooh, that's cool. Maybe we'll do that too. We'll see. Okay, this other plate. This is another one that I had set out that I wanted to share with you guys. We're going to have a Hudson badge before we even look at this plate. This one, I believe, is Newell stock. The condition on this thing is just, it's so good. I see no indication of a screw ever being in any of the 4 holes. The color is amazing. The gloss is amazing. I think this is Newell stock. And it's 76 years old. Pawnee County, just west of here, truck plate from 1949. Look at this thing. I don't know if you guys can see the ridges in the paint. If we can get the reflection just right. Look at this shine on this thing. Lots of hearts. Matt 25. Gary 23. The backside, a few scuffs on the back, but looks just as good. I see no indication around any of the holes that would tell me it was ever used. You know, you can see that where this thing was painted, how it was painted. It's just crazy cool condition-wise. Gary, 26. So this thing is awesome. I told you we had another good plate I wanted to squeeze in. The Wheat State, the years they had that stamped on there, this is all stamped in the plate. This is old school metal stamping, actual paint, 76 years old, never been on a vehicle. Let's get it on the timer and see what you guys think. It is basically roughly 12.6 standard size plate. Amazing condition. I waxed it. It's all I did to it. But just, wow. You can just see the shine as the light catches it. Just really great piece. Past the 30-second mark, working our way towards 1 minute. Gary at 26. There you can see the shine on that thing. More hearts are still flowing. One minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Looks better than what's on your truck. Mark, 29. Coming out of the end, Jesse at 30. Ron Levesque, 39. Couple seconds left. And that does it, Ron at 39. I didn't figure you were going to be able to pass that one up, Ron. That thing is so nice. Okay. Let's see. Want to do a couple more things real quick, and then let's just do a couple more auctions, and then we'll wrap up the auctions and move on to the brochure and some magazine stuff, some ads and stuff. So we haven't done a grease cap yet tonight. We did a hubcap. We haven't done a grease cap, and this thing looks great as well. How about this one from, I believe, the Graham brothers? Check out this thing. Nice and crisp. You can see the texture back in here, the way this was stamped out, the GB on it. We can see the GB on the back side of it. More hand plates. That's the only one I got in here. I've got some more bread. That's all I've got tonight, though. It's cool, Nut Farm. I know. It is super cool. We got the hex out here around the outside edge. A little bit of damage on the hex because that's where it was used at. But this thing looks pretty good. Internal threads like these things all have. It's a good-looking piece. It's nice. It's cool. It's something different. Not a common, like the Fords and Chevys are cool, but this one's something a little bit different conversation piece. And let's put it on the timer and see what happens. Eric at 15. Nut Farm, 30. Eric, 31. 30 seconds gone. 60 seconds left to go. I thought of that too, Brett. Nut Farm, 35. 1 minute gone, 30 seconds left to go. Coming out of the wire is Eric Dunners. He got another one. Another shot he's going to take. We're going to find out. Eric, 37. Nut Farm, 39, and that does it. Holy cow. Eric got that in like at 126 or 127, and then Nut Farm got one in at 129, and boom, it was done there. Eric just got the 40, came back. I thought that was going to come down to the wire, and it sure did. Nut Farm at 39 is where we ended up. Good idea, Matt. Boom, we'll double you up with an Auburn badge, too. All right. One or two more or on to the brochure? What do you guys want to do? I got a badge and an emblem laying here. Okay, two more. How about a badge and an emblem? Does that work for you guys? Or just a badge and an emblem. A badge and a plate. Emblem and a plate. A badge and an emblem. It's the same thing. Duh. Okay, we'll do a plate and an emblem. And then we'll get to the brochure. That's good with you guys because I see thumbs up popping up on my screen. Let's do a Chevy emblem for our bow tie fans. This is kind of a cool one. It's V'd, so it's kind of hard to mount, but it's kind of a good-looking badge. Off the front of a 1968 Impala. The blue bow tie, this is a pop metal badge with a blue plastic bow tie insert. Went right on the header panel of a full-size 68. It is a V'd piece. It is chromed pop metal. You see the mounting studs on it right there. Part number on the back. You can see where the plastic center is tabbed in there. The plastic center still has good color, nice deep blue. There's a few pits in the chrome, but nothing real serious. It is about 14 inches long, so a little bit bigger, narrower on the top, a little thicker on the bottom. 14 inches long, 1968 Impala, or any full size really, I think, used it. Front header badge. The bow tie in the middle is right at about an inch. So let's roll on the 68 Impala front header badge. Then we're going to catch an earlier plate, and then we're going to get into a super killer brochure. Gary at 12. Starting us off on the 68 Impala front nose badge. Ron at 20. Oh, that's the year you were born. And then we got one other plate that is a cool looking plate that we're going to slide in here and then get into the brochure. Brett at 20. I've already got Ron at 20. Gary, 31. Or 21. Okay. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. Gary at 21. One minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Mark, 29. Ticking away, coming out of the end. Mark at 29. Ron at 30. Pete, 36. Mark Kirk, 33. And that does it. So let's sort this out, and it looks like Pete at 36. You guys got to watch Pete when a bow tie emblem pops up. Pete at 36 got it done. But it's a nice looking piece, so. Okay, one more plate, and then we're going to get into the brochure. And this is a good looking plate. I love the colors on this. Over 90 years old. A little bit of surface rust on one end, but this is a cool piece. I dig this. 1933 Kansas. We did all Kansas tonight, didn't I? I need to get some other states dug back out. I didn't realize I had everything. All thing tonight was Kansas, but oh well. This is a great color combination, kind of a medium blue with white letters. This thing has just the right amount of age, patina. It just has just a killer look to it. I love the blue and white. I love the patina on this. It's dinged up a little bit, but not bad. Just, it's a different size. This thing just checks the boxes for a man cave. Chuck from Australia hanging out with us tonight. Thanks for stopping by, Chuck. It's tomorrow there, right? It's 9:30 here in Kansas. So what is it, like 12:30 or 1:30 Monday in Australia? Just guessing. But we've got some guys from down under that have been on before, so I'm kind of guessing. I think Peter jumps on with us from down under every Tuesday, so I think it's Monday there. I don't know. Maybe it's Monday afternoon there. Yeah, Monday afternoon. Perfect. Okay, guys. This thing is awesome. I hope you guys dig it. This 1933 Kansas plate. I love the blue. I love the age. I love the patina. And this is an odd-sized plate. This isn't our standard 12x6 plate. Eric at 20. That didn't take long. We can see this plate has a little bit of damage up here around this hole. This, I believe it's a factory hole because it's got it over here, but this one's kind of banged up. We've got a little bit of surface rust along this side. The back looks pretty decent. We can see a little bit more of the blue there. But when we look at these white letters against this blue background, 12:30 p.m., okay. And you see just enough wear on the edges of these letters against this blue background. You figure this thing is 92 years old. It just has an amazing look to it. Like I said, this is an odd size. Kansas used these plates from 31 to 37, I think. I know they used them in 32. I think they used them in 31 to 37. This plate is 14 and a half long. And about 4 3/8 tall. So a different size than what we're used to on a normal standard, roughly 12x6 plate. But I just think this has a great look. The colors are great. The patina is great. Just enough wear, just enough age. You can see this thing is not bent up. Good looking piece. Brett at 21. And here we go. On the timer. Starting us, Brett at 21. I just think it has just a killer look to it. I'm excited about it. It's not Barton County. 33 would be Barton County. 53, I don't know what county that is. But so I'm going to go ahead and sell it. But, man, it's a great-looking plate. Coming up on 30 seconds, no other bids coming in. 30 seconds gone kind of surprised me. I thought this was a cooler-looking plate than that. But we'll see what happens. We've still got a minute left to go, just under a minute. Eric, 25. Mark, 36. 1 minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Pratt County. Oh, shoot, just south of me. I should have known that. Coming down to the end, mark at 36, few seconds left. Ron at 40, and that does it. Holy cow. Nick had a 45 in there, but it was too late. Wow, that got interesting. Ron at 40 is who I had at a minute 30. Nick had a 45, Mark had a 41, but that was 131, 132. Holy cow. Ron at 40 is who I had. That's the only way I can be fair about it. But, man, Ron, you got out of there with that one by like that much. Holy cow. They were gunning for you. But it's a great-looking piece. I was wondering if you were sitting out there, Nick, when Pete said Pratt County. I was wondering if you were on tonight. Yeah, Mark's a little off. You were close. You and Nick both. It was like 131 and 132. I mean, that's why I keep the phone literally right next to the comments, so I can watch them both. And you guys were not off by much, but it was tight. Ron was very, very lucky on that one. So, but anyway, it was a cool piece. It was a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun with you guys on the auction tonight. Appreciate you guys playing along. Let's check out a brochure. And guys, you never know what's coming on brochures anymore right now. Holy mackerel. I don't even know how to explain it. I mean, it's just like you open a box and it's like, wow, 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 wow. So, look at that. Kevin L's here with us, hitting us with a supercharged super chat. Boom. They're pouring in tonight. Brett, I don't know what you did, Big Rig. Brett got this thing rolling tonight. But another supercharged super chat coming in from Kevin L. Thanks, Kevin. I know you said you were going to try to get on tonight. It looks like you did make it. Hitting us with a supercharged super chat. Boom, we're going to wear this thing out. What's it been out like 5 times tonight? Boom. Supercharged super chat. Thanks, Kevin. Glad you stopped in for a minute. And now, without further ado, tonight's brochure. These things, like I said, just like every time we opened a box, we couldn't get anything done because Addie was helping me. And you open the box, it's like, and they just get cooler. Just mind-blowing what we're seeing. But this is one I bet a lot of you guys haven't seen. This was a very short production brochure because it was a short production car. Everything was at that point. Because in 1942, as soon as they cranked all this stuff out, they had to quit making cars. So a lot of this 1942 stuff led a pretty short life. You know, the cars were just starting to come out in November, December. Obviously, Pearl Harbor was hit December 7th of 1941. By spring of 1942, everything was shifting to war production, and there just wasn't a lot of 42 stuff out there. This one, and this there again. And what I just said, 1942. So this brochure was printed in 1941. This brochure was printed 84 years ago. And look at this thing. This is 84-year-old paper. For the 1942 Oldsmobile. Can you believe this thing is 84 years old? Yeah. The B-44 Oldsmobile for 1942. Very unique design. It does look new, Eric. Not a very common car. The 42 Olds was a very, very unique bird. Very low production. The nose was very unique. In 46, they came out with a totally different nose on these cars. So this was literally a 6-month production nose. Not a lot of it out there. Yeah, that's right. It is, Ron. And I'm seeing, like I said, this is every time I open a box, I'm finding stuff like this in this literature collection. It is great, Ron. Let's check out some of the stuff inside of it. You can always count on Oldsmobile. Actually, this was, I wonder if this came out right. This must have come out right after the first of the year, because it actually has some war stuff in here. So this was actually, holy cow. Okay. This brochure has to be in, okay, I'm reading something here because this has some war stuff in it. This is really interesting, guys. No, I do not have any of these. Dad bought one probably 20 years ago. He had a 42 that was a complete car that he sold to somebody to build. This brochure actually was made. There can't be a handful of these brochures out there. This is a 42 Olds brochure, but it has war stuff in it. I'm going to read this to you, what it says right here, because this actually puts us into a super narrow time frame of history. To serve the vital needs of today's America, defense comes first with Oldsmobile. The production of arms and ammunition for the United States government takes priority over production of cars for civilian service. However, Oldsmobile will continue to build motor cars to keep working America on the move, but the quantity will necessarily be limited by the availability of materials and priority of defense production. Shells for field guns and howitzers started coming off the production line at Oldsmobile in April 1941. So this was already, they were already shifting a little bit of this because they were doing Lend-Lease with Britain. Automatic cannon for fighting planes followed a few months later, and other defense activities are underway. To cooperate further with the defense program, changes in motor car specifications may become necessary in the interest of national emergency. Therefore, Oldsmobile Division, General Motor Sales Corporation, reserves the right to make changes at any time without notice in prices, colors, materials, equipment, specifications, and models, and also to discontinue models. So when this brochure was printed, somewhere right at the end of 41, right at the beginning of 42, they were still planning to build cars. They were still planning to produce cars. They knew it was going to change. They knew the prices were going to change. They knew that the material availability was going to change, and that there may be some modifications based on that. But at this point, they are still planning on building automobiles. Wow, that's kind of interesting. Front shot of the 42. Yeah, this, guys, and I know I keep saying it, this stuff is in every box I open. It is just something else in 42 that Oldsmobile was way ahead of. It had it out for a year or two at this point. The Hydromatic. The Oldsmobile Special, the town sedan. Trying to get positioned here where you guys are going to be able to see all these good. the special four-door sedan, and the special business coupe. The Club Coupe and the Club Sedan. The two-door sedan and the convertible. How many 42 Oldsmobile convertibles did they make? Yeah. There goes the hearts. The Woody Wagon. The hearts are still flowing. And into the bigger cars, the Dynamic Cruiser. The Dynamic Cruiser Club Sedan, the Dynamic Cruiser four-door sedan. This is obviously, even you can tell from the pictures, a larger bodied car. Check out the interior shot. Wow. The Custom Cruiser, the Custom 8 Cruiser, the four-door sedan, and the convertible. The Custom Cruiser Club Sedan, as well as a Husky-built chassis that has everything it takes to take it. The hearts are still going. Big sturdy Fisher bodies and Economaster engines. The 100 horse Econo 6 and the 110 horse Econo 8. Something else that we don't see anymore, and we talk about that a lot, to talk about this a lot when we do these brochures and study this history, is the marketing back in the day, how different it was compared to what we see today. And this definitely tells it, definitely shows it. High efficiency in design gives fine performance with economy. Precision built features add long life to the Oldsmobile engine. And this is crazy, guys. We're going to have to take a few minutes to study this because I really want you to grasp this. We're going to take this a page at a time and check this out. It literally is talking about the design of the combustion chamber on the cylinder head, the internal structure of the water pump. Most people today don't even know what a water pump is or does. Specifications on the carburetor. The choke, automatic choke. Nobody today knows what a choke is. Let's see what it says about the ignition system. Vacuum fuel saver saves gasoline by automatically regulating amount of spark advance to conform with driving speeds. Vacuum control permits a greater degree of spark advance when needed. Counterbalance crankshaft. Booster type fuel pump. Yes, literally talking about the specifics of the crankshaft. And on the next page of specifications, it's just so crazy, guys. We can appreciate this, but to think that this is how they did it back in the day. Completely cooled cylinders, the cooling system. Long life valves. It actually shows the valve train and the cam. Detailing the lubrication system. There goes more hearts. It's exciting, guys, to see this stuff. Study how they did it. This was their selling points. You know, how big the touchscreen is, nobody did. You thought you were from Mars. This is how our lubrication system works, though. This is how we're going to lubricate that engine for the 110 horsepower so you don't have any problems going down the road and you get a long life out of this car. As well as big, heavy-duty bearings, 4 piston rings, and rifle-drilled connecting rods. Each Oldsmobile connecting rod is rifle-drilled throughout its entire length to supply oil under pressure to the piston pins and cylinder walls. Bearings, rings, and rods. A very definitive part of the sales brochure. They wanted you to know your Oldsmobile was going to run, it was going to be dependable, and you were going to get a long life out of it because of all this technology in the engine. Just crazy. It gets even better. Wow. We'll run through these real quick. I didn't realize this stuff was in here. I better look ahead a little bit. Big super hydraulic brakes. Modern coil springs. Dreadnought frame. This Husky heavy X-member frame provides tremendous strength and stamina. X-member is heavily reinforced with strong steel gusset plates. 5 specially designed cross members are riveted and bolted to frame for maximum rigidity. Rugged corner braces are also used to withstand stress and strain. Double action shocks, front ride stabilizer, lateral stabilizer bar, sealed beam headlamps, and double duty bumpers. Now they tell you what kind of connectivity you've got for your Bluetooth, or how big your touchscreen is, or how many monitors you've got, or how many plugins you've got, or how many cup holders you've got. Hey guys, we got sealed beam headlights. We got big drum brakes. front and rear stabilizer bars. Quality chassis features that are designed and built to last, including dual center control steering, positive shift starter, flywheel and starter gears engage before starter starts to turn. The plunger type starter control pedal is isolated from the engine. Handy shift gear control, silent synchro mesh transmission, smooth action clutch, automatically controlled generator, under the hood air-cooled battery, and 7-bearing high-poid rear axle of the proved semi-floating design reduces bearing load and permits lowering of the car floor. 7 anti-friction bearings add to long life. Yes, the 1942 Oldsmobile had a 7-bearing rear axle in it, and that was one of their major selling points. Easy to shift, your manual transmission with an easy-to-work clutch. Man, throw one of these sales brochures out in front of somebody today and tell them to pick out their car. And finally, on the last page, we finally get to your accessories. Your touchscreens, your plug-ins, your cup holders, your leather, your sunroof, right? No! Accessories. Well, it wasn't really an accessory, but you did have the Oldsmobile conditioned air heating and ventilation system. Pressure circulates heater filtered air. So you got a heater. Accessories, designed and built for Oldsmobile. All factory-approved accessories for the Oldsmobile B44 are designed in collaboration with Oldsmobile engineers, tested under Oldsmobile supervision in Oldsmobile cars, and built to specifications that assure high quality. Only a few are listed on this page. Your Oldsmobile dealer can show you many others, together with prices and complete detailed information. Sounds good, Mark. Glad you were here. Standard push-button radio. Deluxe electric tuning radio. Other quality accessories, satin seat covers, sea breeze seat covers, fog lamps, direction signals, rear fender panels for special and dynamic cruiser models, rear horizontal bumper guard, wheel trim rings for special and dynamic cruiser models, as well as you could get, if you check the right box on the accessory sheet, a left-hand outside rear view mirror, or possibly a visor utility kit. So, yep, it's crazy, but those are the listed accessories. Nothing about plug-ins, touchscreens, sunroofs, anything with any power. The only thing electric they even mentioned was the radio. Oh, and the turn signals. And then it actually does give you some specifications on all three models. The Special, the Dynamic Cruiser, and the Custom 8 Cruiser. On the inside last page gives you some of the actual model specifications to compare and contrast those cars. Finally, on the back page, Oldsmobile Authorized Service, what it is, how it's done, and who does it. Wanting to make you sure you kept your Oldsmobile coming back to the Olds dealer for authorized service. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. We did spend a little more time on it than I planned, but holy cow, I didn't realize this was this much of a piece of history, where they had already started munitions production. It was already slowly going that way with the Lend-Lease program, even though we had not entered the war yet. But just crazy that at this point, in this little snippet in time, They were still planning on building 42 Oldsmobiles, it sounds like, for the whole year. They knew it was going to change. They put that right in the inside cover, but they were still planning production of the car at that point. So there it is, an amazing brochure, amazing color, amazing illustrations. Now, send it to Eric. I've got to keep this collection together. I think I would get shot if I tried to sell that stuff out of this collection. Now, there are some brochures that we are going to put into the auction because I've got hundreds of brochures that I've gathered up over the years. And if I've got them in this collection, I'm going to keep the collection together. I will, just like the DeSoto brochure that we're going to be sending to Ron from last week. But I've never seen this one before. As with a lot of the brochures in this collection, it's stuff I've never seen. So this Oldsmobile B44 from 1942 going to stay in this collection. We're going to put it right back in its jacket so that it is protected and preserved. This thing is 84 years old and looks this good. Holy cow, guys, it's insane. But with that, wow, we're almost 10 o'clock. I guess we'll go ahead and wrap up tonight. Had a few more things we were going to get to. Glad you were here, Nut Farm. Had some really great magazine ads. I didn't have classifieds, but we haven't done an auto trade journal in a while. So I grabbed one of those, and there was like a bunch of pages all clustered together of just amazing ads. So we'll save that for next week. Glad you enjoyed it, Ron. It's a great piece. We got a lot of neat stuff coming up. So had a lot of fun with you guys tonight. Thanks for all your participation in the auctions. Thanks for being here. And thank you, all of you, for allowing me to take a minute and show our respects to our friend in Canada that we did lose. And I'm glad that we're sending some of his stuff down the road to your guys' collection. I think it's perfect that everybody got to pick, other than the Nut Farm at the last one, and he got what he wanted anyway. So he's super excited about that as well. Tuesday night, we should be on normal. I think I'll be here. The way this week is looking, I think I'll be here Tuesday night. But like I mentioned earlier, next week is going to be kind of a crapshoot. I may be here, I may not. If I'm out of town, I will try to jump on for a little bit from wherever I'm at if I have time in the 7:30 window on Sunday evening. Obviously, like I mentioned earlier, I've got a lot of great stuff coming up. I may go ahead and throw that one video up tomorrow night just as a normal video from the Carney collection, just in case some of you guys may have the opportunity to get through Nebraska and check out those Hatfield cars. I want to give you just a taste of it. Absolutely in no way, shape, or form does a quick walk-by video show you what those cars are. Like I told you last week, they almost give you goosebumps looking at them. They're that magnificent. So may try to get that one up. But a lot of cool stuff coming up. That auction video was a lot of fun. I think you guys are going to enjoy that. Did get the video done on the 1973 Imperial LeBaron with a factory sunroof. That video will be coming up soon. What else did I finish up the other night? I don't even know. It's all kind of blurring together. Oh, 55 Buick video coming up. Got that one put together. So we're making some headway, and we got a lot of cool stuff coming up that I think you guys are going to enjoy. But with that, it's getting pretty late. I know you guys need to get to bed. I'm going to wrap this thing up, and we're going to get moving on down the road. We'll see some of you Tuesday night, and we'll see what happens next Sunday night. Thanks for the Johnny Carson comments. It still amazes me that you guys even put me in any sort of realm with something like that. Glad you guys were here tonight. Thanks for stopping by, making this what it is, turning this into the group that it really has become, and that's all because of you guys. I'm just the lucky one that gets to sit here in front of the webcam, but it's your participation that makes it. Oh, look at that. Whoa, one more. Brett got one more super chat in. Boom, right there at the end. Nobody saw that one coming. We were about ready to wind this one up. Brett hit us with one more to wrap the night up. I assume it'll be the last one. We're about done. So, boom, boom, boom. Supercharged super chat out of Brett. One more wrapping up tonight. Thanks to Big Rig Brett for that. And with that, we will hopefully in some way, shape, or form see you next week at the same bat time, same bat channel for some more Sunday night live chat. The You Nobody Show Gearhead Interactive Chat. Thanks for being here tonight, guys. Thanks for your support. And we'll see some of you Tuesday and see what happens for Sunday. But regardless, stay tuned. A lot of great videos coming up. Thanks for being here. Thanks for making this what it is. We'll see you guys soon and have a great week.